Alright, so we went through and did the extra formers I needed, as you can see, both here and here. So all I gotta do now is just parse out these pieces into their own individual section for printing, print them all out, and then actually get all this put together. And since the formers are now here, and I can actually build everything properly again. So yeah, I'm going to get all this set up. Alright, so I got both flags put together, as you clearly can tell. Though I might need to cut these little pieces down, but I don't know yet. That's because I'm building the next section, which is actually going to basically connect the legs together. So I'm going to finish off adding this section in, reinforcing this whole piece so it can actually so it can actually properly support this thing. And watch the downfall of H3H3. So rip in pieces, you've gone fudged. Also, I went back to a very janky dual screen setup. It's not exactly what I want, but it's more for that's what I want to do. I can have my main screen for building Freya or whatever, and I can have my second screen for watching YouTube videos, live streams like I am right now, or just doing occasional, or just seeing if I have any update or whatever. So I'm gonna go back to watching this video. Alright, more or less got the legs put together finally. I was able to get rid of that little ugly piece I had right here to support the black leg. Since everything's now properly supported, it's actually, the legs are actually a little bit more better grounded than Minmay's were, but I'm still going to build a base for Freya's legs, just like I did with Minmay. Though I'm going to make it slightly thicker, and it's also going to be a little bit more bigger because, well, the width between both legs is a lot more, so it's going to give me a lot more surface area, which is also going to give me a lot more area to actually mount a speaker and whatnot. I'll most likely mount the speaker between this foot and this foot here. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities when it comes to the sound system for this one. Also thanks to those little formers I have that I asked to get done. They helped with the leg building to be a lot more simpler. The building legs still took a really long time. Granted, I took quite a few days off, but still. But since I got this pretty much done, there's still a little bit more I got to add here. But relatively speaking, I'll be able to finish all that off tomorrow. But tomorrow, which is actually technically today, which is Friday, of me recording this video, I'm getting myself a new laptop. So I'll be working with that thing for about a day or so to get that thing up and running, because it's an AMD computer, and AMD computers are kind of garbage. But it was the only cheapest laptop I could get. So most likely Monday I'll come back and actually start really getting this thing put together. Though what I gotta do now is I gotta go in there and reinforce this whole little section here, because I'll be more or less carrying her like I did with Minmay, basically like this. And I also gotta do a tad bit more reinforcements here and there. But overall, the actual superstructure for the legs is a lot more sound than Minmay's were. And also, I don't have to do as much weird hot gluing to get the leg supports here to actually properly connect. I'm actually going to have to remove these, and when I actually go to build later on, because I'm going to have a like a pole or something here, so I can actually have the top portion is also going to have its own pole, so it can actually just have something to anchor itself onto and whatnot. So I'll be pulling these off and making a whole little system like I did with Minmay to connect their top and bottom portions together. I'll be doing basically that with Freya. So yeah, it's also a little past 2 a.m. so I'm sleepy. My speech impediment is really starting to show, and I think I'm just better off just calling this video and going to bed. Oh yeah, also one more thing, I'm going to definitely have to rework my closet a little bit more, because I want to keep my Viken scope in here instead of actually having it out here because, well, there's a fish tank right there. Granted, I'm relatively cautious when it comes to feeding my fish tank and whatnot when it comes to my scope being in the front of it. But I have it in the closet when I'm not using it, instead of it being out here where it could get damaged and get water spilled on it and whatnot. So I'm definitely gonna do a little bit more reworking with the reworking in the closet. Probably just move this back a little bit more. I might be able to scooch this back a tad bit more if I remove the 109 right there. Maybe a few more things. But for right now, I don't have to really worry because I'm not really getting it to the point to where like this skirt and whatnot's going to get in the way because I'm only this far into the build. So yeah. Again, I don't know what else to think. I mean, it's going to be like mid-May in the end, so I'm going to be happy in the end. Alright, so I'm about to go and edit this video together. It is now the next day actually, and I got the new computer and I'm doing a whole separate video on this thing, and I knew this was most likely going to happen, that I was going to more or less just be ending up taking the whole day to set this thing up. Since this thing only has 32 gigs of onboard storage, this thing has to have a USB drive plugged in to do any Windows feature updates. And since this thing only has like 8 gigs left on this thing, it's data swapping between the main SSD and the flash drive constantly. And since the USB 2 drive instead of USB 3, since I don't know which ports on this thing are USB 2 or which ones are USB 3s, I just plugged in a USB 2 thumb drive that I know that works, and just let the computer do its own thing. And it's slow. I mean, it's an AMD computer, so it's going to be slow, but it's pathetically slow. Then again, it's because it's swapping data left and right between both this thumb drive and the internal SSD on this thing. So it's going to take a long time to swap data to and fro. But at least it gives me two little indicator lights to let me see if it's doing anything. So it looks like the SSD itself really isn't doing much. Though the thumb drive is semi-active to an extent. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna more or less be taking a few days to get this thing properly set up before I get back to building Freya again. So yeah.